All right, so now we've seen that with a single collection being mapped, although the database actually has another collection, we can find it in our MySQL client, our SQL client that we are using. And obviously, if you try to find that particular collection that you know that's not being mapped, it will tell you that there's no such thing as a webshops.attributes table. To do that, we need to include it fully in our DRDL file. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, obviously, to do that, we need to stop our MongoSQL and instead of just mapping out products, we're going to map the full database into a different file called webshop.drdl. Once we do that, we start again our MongoSQL. In this case, just using webshop.drdl instead of webshop_product.drdl. And we raise up again on the same port as before. Now, switching to a different connection, I'm just going to connect again to make sure that everything is correctly set up. If I now use my web shop and if I show my tables, I can see both of my collections being mapped as tables in this case. All right, so now that we have two different tables in this case, can we produce a join? That's how relational systems work, right? We have different tables, they are in some way related to each other, and we can express joins. So let's go ahead and do that. So now that we have those two collections, let's express a select statement that will join those two collections. What I'm going to do is print out my product ID, my attribute product ID, and the name of the attribute. I do this by expressing that products is P and attributes is A, and then my where clause, I define the join where A product ID equals P product ID. And then for simplicity reasons, I'm just going to limit the result to anything that has a product ID lower than 100,002. Once I run this, I can see all the results associated with that join. Same product ID for both, and the name of attributes that I have related to this product ID. So how is this possible? How I've been told all the way through that MongoDB, which is the caretaker of this data, the location the set is living is on MongoDB. How is it possible that I can express queries that involve joins? Well, basically, this is the magic that MongoSQL actually offers. How is this translated into a MongoDB statement? So let's have a look to the logs in MongoSQL to have a better understanding of what's actually going on. As you can see here, what we are expressing is this particular select statement over here. So this is what MongoSQL receives. It will translate to this for an optimization plan where it will project product ID, and name. That's pretty much exactly what we asked for. It will filter on product ID A and P product ID, and as well on the product ID lower than 100,002. And then it will produce a join between the collection products, SP, cross join with attributes, which is a collection in WebShop as well. But if we are really interested on knowing exactly what happened, we need to go into the logs of MongoDB. Again, we store our logs in DB log, and we can just go ahead and tail that. So if we jump into the logs of MongoDB, we will see that there's a particular webshop attributes command, which is an aggregation that aggregates on products and matches these products to having a UID, make sure it is not null, and then it performs a lookup with the local field being product ID, the foreign field being product ID again, and joined with A from attributes. So this basically states that we are running an aggregation pipeline on the collection products and looking into attributes. And then we unwind all the values to have the table-like approach of each attribute to each product. And then we match for everything that is lower than 100,002. We send back a cursor and we allow disk usage. So to make sure that you don't have very slow queries, like in my case right here, where the simple aggregation query took 682 milliseconds, you need to make sure that you have in place, both in products collection and attributes collection, the necessary indexes to support this aggregation pipeline. If you do not have that, well, the magic is a little bit slower to occur. You can still do your joins. The joins will be managed by MongoSQL, but they probably will take a little bit more time than expected. So make sure you have the indexes in place to support the aggregation pipelines that will support the joins that we are expressing from the SQL client that we are using.